Oh my people, this gist no dey tire person at all. The more you look, the more the story opens like a fresh onion with plenty layers. You know, sometimes, what seems like a small move on social media turns into a ripple that shakes everywhere. That is exactly what is happening now with Maurice Sam, Pearl, and Sonia. This triangle has refused to leave the headlines, and the reason is clear: emotions are high, actions are loud, and reactions are even louder. So let me break it down further, because the story is still boiling hot, and if we don't take our time, we might miss the hidden gist inside. When Pearl decided to unfollow both Maurice and Sonia, it was not just a random click. No, it was a decision that carried weight. Think about it: in this age of social media, following and unfollowing is no longer ordinary. It is like a statement, a declaration of where you stand. It is silent, but at the same time, it is loud enough for the whole world to hear. And that is why it shook the internet. People began to read into it. Was it jealousy? Was it frustration? Or was it simply a way of saying, I am stepping out of this picture? Everyone had their own interpretation, and that is what made it spread like fire. But let us not pretend, the signs were already there. You cannot hide body language, and fans are smart. They notice everything. They had already seen that Maurice's glow around Sonia was different. You know how a person behaves when they are genuinely happy. It shows in their eyes, their smile, their comfort level. And Maurice's actions around Sonia were too natural, too unplanned, too real to be ignored. Pearl must have noticed this as well, and maybe that is what added salt to her wound. It is one thing to fight for attention in private, but when the world starts to confirm what you feared in public, the sting is double. Then there is the matter of the fans. This part is honestly wild because it shows how powerful fandom culture has become. These are not just casual watchers, these are people who feel emotionally invested in Maurice and in his happiness. They have made it their duty to protect his image and his peace. So the moment Pearl made her move, whether intentional or not, they took it as an attack on their favorite. And once fans are triggered, you know how it goes, there is no stopping them. Reports, drags, comments, hashtags, everything begins to fly. And poor Pearl, who may have only wanted to step aside quietly, suddenly found herself in the middle of an online storm that she probably never expected. The swiftness of the reaction is what makes this story even more unbelievable. It is like one moment she pressed unfollow, and the next moment her name was everywhere. Social media never sleeps. Screenshots started flying, people began posting side comments, and before you could blink, the gist was already trending in different circles. This is what makes today's world both exciting and dangerous. Every move is magnified, every action is remembered, and every mistake is punished in real time. But let us pause and ask, did Pearl miscalculate, or was she simply tired? Some people say unfollowing is the ultimate sign of giving up. Others believe it is a sign of anger. Whatever the reason, it became clear that she was no longer willing to watch from the sidelines. Yet, in trying to protect her own peace, she ended up walking straight into the fire of fans who were not ready to let her go without noise. The funniest part is how people online are now divided. Some are cheering the fans, saying Maurice deserves to be protected from unnecessary drama. Others are pitying Pearl, arguing that she is human too and that maybe she simply reacted emotionally. That is the beauty and the curse of social media: everyone has an opinion, and those opinions shape how the story is remembered. Now the big question: what happens next? Will Maurice step out and say something? Will Sonia react, or will she remain quiet, allowing her silence to speak louder than words? And what about Pearl? Will she try to explain herself, or will she let the storm pass and rebuild quietly later? These are the questions everyone is asking, and until answers come, the gist will continue to fly. My people, this is no longer just gist, it is a lesson. It shows how delicate things can be in the age of social media. A small action, done in seconds, can have consequences that last weeks or even months. For Pearl, the unfollow may have been personal, but for the world, it became entertainment. And for Maurice and Sonia, it only added more attention to their bond. That is the irony: the more Pearl pulled away, the more people saw Maurice and Sonia's closeness. Truly, life has a way of turning the tables. So as it stands, This story is still hot, still growing, and still making waves. And trust me, until somebody speaks or something new happens, nobody is going to stop talking about it. Because this gist, my people, is sweeter than sugar and spicier than pepper soup. Please do well to subscribe to my channel for more gist. Thank you.